Welcome back to our discussion of HTML. So last time we talked about basic HTML elements and we analyzed the structure of those elements being made up of tags, a begin tag and an end tag, and then in the middle content. Today we'll look at nested elements and also the distinction between block and inline elements. So on line 13 here of our HTML we have nested elements. You can see the paragraph tag and then within that a strong tag. Nested within it in the end strong tag and then the end paragraph tag. So the strong tag is a nested element within the paragraph tag. Here's a badly nested element on line 16, and you can see there the paragraph begins, strong text begins, paragraph ends, and then strong text begins, and this is where the error is. A nested element needs to be completely and perfectly nested in with a containing element. So it's like Russian nesting doll. One doll is completely inside the other doll. They don't have overlapping boundaries. Now the browser, we can see over to the left here, has rendered it just fine and in a reasonable way. That's because browsers are very loose in interpreting and forgiving in interpreting HTML. Nevertheless, we want to strive for correct HTML because you can get unpredictable behavior. So, nested elements. Now let's go on to block versus inline elements. Another really important distinction in HTML that'll come up a lot later. So the paragraph tag is an example of a block element, and that's why I used this example again here. My third cat is so strong. So the new line before and after the block. So if I didn't have paragraph tags here, all these paragraphs would run together on one line. The fact that they have paragraph tags in front of them and after them means they appear as paragraphs on their own, with a new line in front and a new line after them in the browser. On the other hand, the strong tag within it is a nested element, it's a nested element, but it's also an inline element. So it's inline, it doesn't force a new line before and after the tag, and that makes complete sense to have that distinction. So by the time we find out that my fish is also very grumpy, we conclude maybe that I'm the problem. I'm always talking to them about semantic HTML markup, and now I want to talk to you about that. So I can make the text italic or bold by changing the font properties. But that's not semantic markup. What semantic markup means, semantic is a word that means meaning. So in this case, the strong and the emphasis tag carry meaning beyond just the formatting change. And what it means is that piece of computer software that consumes your HTML can attach meaning to the strong and emphasis, like a visual reader a human reader can apply emphasis to italic and bold. So an automated reader, like a screen reader for a visually impaired person, can then point out to the visually impaired person that this is emphasized text or important text, strong text. Also, semantic content is important for web crawling engines like Google and Google search. It can pull apart important elements of your web page if you mark them up with tags that have meaning versus tags that just change the format. Now, you may not, for example, like the way strong text is used in default rendering in the browser as bold. You may have a different idea. To me, strong text, it may be red, right? Don't worry about that, because with CSS that we'll study later, you can change the look of any tag. So you can change the look of the strong tag to be a different type of format, but you still have the semantic markup in this tag. And you can make it look like anything you want. So that concludes our discussion for today.